Hello everybody, I am your humble host, Gavin the Kitty, and today we are playing Super Mario Bros. 2. I am your humble host and the only cat on the internet who is ordering pizza rolls at 7 in the morning. Or no, bagel bites at 7 in the morning because he's tired of pizza and wants something different. My life is strange, don't ask. Let's just get into it today. How is everybody doing? Because I'm quite well. Tell me if you can hear the game. By the way, this is the worst translation I have ever read for an opening. When Mario opened a door after climbing a long stair, in his dream, another world spread before him and he heard a voice call for help. Also, it's really fast. After awakening, Mario went to a cave nearby and to his surprise, he saw exactly what he saw in his dream. It's weird. We'll get into it. Let's just start out with Mario and go from there, shall we? We'll be playing through as much, as many ports of Mario 2 as I can possibly get my hands on. There's like 4 ports of this game in total that are uniquely different, and we'll get into all of that. But everybody wants to talk about how this isn't a Mario game. But in fact, I'd like to talk about the other fact that is a Mario game. You heard me correct. We'll also grab some coins here to show off the roulette later on. So, I could go over mechanics first, but I want to go past history first. So, after the release of Super Mario Bros., Miyamoto wanted to create another Mario title that would go over... Hi, Tomo. That would go over the... vertical scrolling platforming scale. However, a lot of the other devs at Nintendo didn't think that that was going to be such a good idea. So, instead of going with that idea, they went and chose to go a different route. They found that while making levels for the harder version called Super Mario Bros. Versus on the arcades was a lot more fun to make hard levels, they just decided to make a sequel that they could push out the very next year called Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels. But when it came time to make the Fuji TV promotional event to promote Super Mario Bros. And the Famicom as a whole, they made a vertical scrolling platformer just like how Miyamoto had wanted. Along with that came the next idea that their Lost Levels title that they had worked so hard on was too hard for the American market, which in a lot of respects I can understand it. It's ridiculously tough. It's not that great, and we'll get there when we get there. But it's very much a Kaizo hack in a lot of ways, and this feels a lot more like a sequel because of that. This has been stated before as being Miyamoto's favorite Mario game, which is a little surprising, especially coming from a lot of American fans who don't know this one as a sequel. But it was released in Japan as Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, and advertised as such. So, you know, this is Mario 2. Yes, it is. It's for the NES. It's also for the Game Boy Advance. And it has 2 ports on the Super Nintendo, but we'll get there when we get there. It is really not that hard. This game's super easy. I mean, it gets kind of tough, but, like, it's not that bad. And I couldn't get an extra life. That's okay. But how about for the first bit, I'll let you guys pick who you guys want to be. Mario, Luigi, Toad, or Princess Peach. Or Toadstool, depending on how you want to say it. Oh, and if you guys... I'm going to turn up the game a little bit, because it doesn't seem like you guys can hear it real well. Oh, and now it's super loud. Cool. Maybe right about there? Toad. Alrighty. Toad it is. Well, yeah, it's got... Well, that's because a lot of people, when they play Mario Brothers, they don't realize that they should probably play this one a little bit differently. So they kind of go through with it in their own way. There is a trick to get to the very top up here without ever having to use the key and see Phanto. And I think... But because we've chosen Toad, and I don't know how to do the other trick properly, we can't do either of the tricks. Because I don't know how to do the trick, so... Sorry! I do want to showcase some warps in this game, but for now, no warps. Because this is our first time running through the game, and while with Mario 1, I'm like, I could show this... I showed that game off, like, 4 separate times on that stream. This one's only going to get 2 or 3, because it's a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and I don't know where all the warps are because it's, like I said, a little bit longer and a little bit harder. It's got mechanics that would show up in other Mario game and even earlier Mario games. Yeah, it was ported to the Game Boy Advance under the title of Super Mario Advance, which is the proper sequel, as I will call it. Oh, also, hidden mushrooms over here. And that's both mushrooms for this area. Every stage has around 1 to 2 mushrooms. These are ninjas. We'll get to them. A lot of commonplace Mario enemies are found in these games. And, yeah. So typical. So typical. No. This game is very different from every Mario game that's come before it, and a lot of Mario games that have come after it. A lot of fans like to say it doesn't happen, it's all a dream. But that's not the case. This game does happen. In fact, it's got references all over the place. Go ahead and pick the next character. Hey, Rusty. I'm doing alright. Oh, probably flying all over the place like normal. Rear? I don't know. Just go for Luigi. Luigi works. Okay. So Luigi's got, so other characters. A lot of people like to say that since this game was a different game entirely, that it doesn't count as a Mario title, which is absolutely ludicrous, and if you think that, you're bonkers. Huh, I put it in the wrong spot. But that gives me a chance to show off this cool little trick where you get to hear a little bit more of the track. Because of, yeah. I'll do I said we'll do a Dragon Ball Super stream eventually, but I'm not counting it in my immediate stuff. Bonkers is dead? No. I just don't feel like doing Bonkers, Tomo. Bonkers is just another failed Disney cartoon. I'll do Bonkers when people are interested in Bonkers. Nobody's interested in it. Sorry. I showcased that game already. I played it. I played every version of that game except for the Game Gear version. Have I watched Turning Red yet? No, I have not. I do want to, though. I have seen snippets here and there about it. I've seen Mr. Enter's review, which I think is ridiculous to say the least. But I do want to watch Turning Red. I've heard it's a pretty good movie. Fun fact, if you can kill 3 or more enemies with either one fruit or a power block, you will get a heart, and that'll replenish your health. Health's on the left-hand side of the screen. So much stuff to go over in this game. So much stuff. But here's our first major boss for this game. This is going to be Mauser. Mauser is a mouse enemy, and you may know them from the Mario cartoon. Because, yeah. Why would I play that? Why would I play something that isn't fun? Other than for, like, a subscriber goal. So... just don't see much reason to play something that I don't think would be fun, so... I've got continues. I've beaten this game before. I actually have played the NES version a lot, so... that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I know I have continues. I've played this before. Next up, we'll show off Peach, because we've been through everybody else. And I'll go over unique abilities and whatnot. So, Peach has her hover. Basically, if you played Super Mario 3D World, all of this will sound very familiar to you. So, Peach has her hover. If I hold down the jump button, she will hover for a good bit of time. She also carries momentum through her hover, so you can move left and right a lot easier. But she's got the slowest movement speed and the slowest digging speed, so maybe not the best spot to showcase it. It's only marginally different, but it's different enough. Go, we counted right. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to showcase this, but absolutely not. Okay. If I was Toad, I could have grabbed that, come all the way down here, and killed Birdo in one hit. And it's the one time I could show it off in the game, basically. Just a pretty neat speedrunning trick. We should probably get into Birdo. Everybody likes to bring up Birdo when they mention this game. Birdo has become a bit of a trans icon in recent times. Nintendo likes to say they're female nowadays, which is perfectly respectable. Birdo is a trans, so, you know, you don't like it, go somewhere else, I guess, but I'ma say it. A lot of my friends actually really like Birdo quite a bit for that whole fact. In other ports of this game that we'll see today, we'll see that she has a bow, so the connection becomes a bit stronger, so I really like that they gave Birdo a bow. In fact, I actually have a Birdo plushie, because, yeah, Birdo's great. Gotta love it. Ah, nope. One up. That's what's in here. Alright. Each one of these pots I can go down and whatnot. Not all of them have anything, so not always worth it to do. Ooh, finally get a heart. No. Tomo, that's just misinformation. That I don't know where you're getting your facts from. Nintendo would never remove a female character from a game. They might change an animation. But, like, why would they get rid of... Why would they get rid of Princess Peach or Daisy or Birdo or any of them? Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense, Tomo. Alright, here's our next colored Birdo. She not only throws eggs, but every now and again she'll toss a fireball at you. You can't pick up the fireballs, so... That doesn't make any sense, Tomo. Heard and saw from where? Cite your sources, man. Don't start spreading rumors. That's not fair and to anybody. The gamers especially. I don't want to be Nintendo Life on this stuff where I just... Or IGN where I just post whatever. I do quite enjoy giving out actual information. That's, you know, honest and truthful. That's why I do a bunch of information and research before... I go information hunting before these streams, believe it or not. And when it comes to a lot of Nintendo stuff, I don't actually have to look up a whole lot, because I've been doing research on Nintendo stuff since I was a little kid. And I mean that, like, I'm not just saying, like, oh, I used to play the games, that's enough for me. Like, no, I'd actively look for information about Nintendo, what new games are coming out, the history behind these classic titles. But yeah. Yeah, Mario 2 is one of my favorites. Absolutely love it. A lot of classic enemies that you'll see later on in the Mario series are just, they later show up. So I've actually redesigned a couple of these enemies before, because I was working on a sequel comic for the Mario Brothers movie. So that comic does exist, although I'm not really credited much of anywhere. It's really annoying for me personally, but hey, whatever. I showcased my designs so local school paper. So, yeah. Another day in the life of me. But, you know, it's fine. It's all good. I'm just glad it exists. Always thankful for the opportunities I have. Guess I could just do this. Oh, that's what he's saying, what to. I asked a really stupid question before I started today's stream. If you microwave an ant, will it explode due to the heat, or will it get radiation poisoning and be perfectly fine? I said it was stupid. I never said it was smart by any means, but it is a question. Maybe Oxide could tell me. Actually, I don't think he'd be able to tell me. I think he'd be more fascinated with how I came up with that question. And the answer was I was just making bagel bites. And random thought leads to a random question. Alright. I believe it's Triclide for this stage. I want to say... So, there are a couple bosses that we'll see be different in other versions of this game. Triclide, I believe we fight Triclide, and as the credits mistranslate, Cloglip. Sorry about all of the rewinds, guys, but even Switch Online gives me a chance to rewind, so I might as well use it. There we go. We are a good ways in. I might as well say now that if you're not subscribed already, please do. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and at 200 subs, I will be 100%ing Balan Wonderworld. So, look forward to that in the future. Whenever we get to 200, I'll get every achievement and everything. It'll be one long stream. Or 2 slightly long streams. I don't know yet. I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing for that game. But I do own the game, so I picked it up just for these streams. Because like many things I do, alright, like I said, vertical scrolling. They really wanted to see if they could master a vertical scrolling platformer. And I say they did alright. For the hardware potential that they had, where the NES could only really pick whether it wanted to scroll vertically or horizontally, I think they did not a bad job disguising that fact. The hell happened there? Alright, we're just gonna avoid the plant. I'm going nutty trying to figure out what to do. And that's what I should do right there. Mario 2 has been referenced a ton in the Mario series. It was very useful when expanding out the roster of enemies in the Mario series. A lot of these enemies we'll be seeing in later games like Mario 2, Mario World, and I mean Mario 3, Mario World, and yeah. I used to like to see how many coins you could get. The answer is a lot. I don't remember the exact maximum level amount of coins, but I'm sure there's an answer out there for how many coins you could possibly get. I'm sure we'll have a co-host join eventually. But for now, how's everybody's day going? There we go. The struggle. Anyways. In the later levels of this game, we're gonna have a hard time. Go back. So there is a trick that you can do with these guys. Because of the... Oh, and now I could show it off, but I'm one hit away, so... And everything's just a little bit too close for my liking. Oh, there it is. I am going to probably have to take a moment, send out a message, because... Alright. Give Luigi a shot for this stage. Luigi's always been one of my favorite characters. I always liked the fluttery jump. I guess I didn't go over all the characters. So Luigi's got the fluttery jump. Mario's kind of the all-arounder, just the good old-fashioned Mario. And Toad can go fast and pick things up really quick, and Peach can float. Each of them have a different sort of speed stat and picking up stat, which... yeah. There we go. Kinda? But... Yeah, I'm a bit all over the place today, guys. Usually I'm in a pretty chipper mood by this point. Cool. I love glitches. Anyways. Usually I'm in a pretty chipper mood by this point, but I've been all over the place this morning. We've recently put the tail together for Presto, and I was just shipped a bunch of stuff for doing a different style of nub, but it doesn't help me with the colors, so, I mean, it doesn't go with how his tail is, so I'm uber confused on how to use it. She's like, oh, it'll be better, it'll be much, much easier than what you did there, and I'm like, I just put 2 pieces of fabric together, what? I'm not good with my hands. I'll be the first to admit I am not a, damn. I'll be the first to admit that I am not a tailor by any means. I think tailor's a funny word. Especially in the furry fandom, because, like, you get a lot of funny things with it. Like, oh, he's a tailor. I get it, because he works on tails. And that's something I've always liked. Tail or what? Da-da-da! Exactly, Karmic. Oh, come on. We're landing on, like, a pixel or 2 away. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Gotta love puns. But Mario 2 is one of my favorites. Fun story for me. In high school, or it was actually in middle school. I had a really awesome science teacher named... Oh, shoot. What was his name? I can't remember his name. I think it was Mr. Lee. Yeah, it was Mr. Lee. He was super cool. Got a lot of kids super interested in science. But he was kind of a nerdy retro gaming type, and ended up, I just kind of clicked with him, because I was really getting into retro games at the time, and one of the questions he asked me was, what was the best Mario game? And my answer to that started with, well, my favorite's Mario 2. And he just kind of looked at me, and I was like, and I kind of like Mario World more. Oh, shit. But he just kind of looked at me funny. But eventually I said Mario 3. I said, but most people consider it Mario 3, and he said, good man, and laughed it off a little bit. He's one of those teachers where if you were having a hard time in school, he'd pull you aside and whatnot. Oftentimes I mention my chemistry teacher when I'm talking about these videos. But a lot of my really good, like, memories of school come from teachers that, like, I clicked with a lot. And all the teachers that I would click with were oftentimes teachers where they're, like, they were into science, or they were into science, or they had something about them that was just a little quirky. Most teachers, though, like, very standard, like, normal people, not really the... Like, even in school, like, if I had the option to hang out with them or the quirky people, it would be the quirky people, like, if they were younger. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, oftentimes, I click with the quirky people. The people where it's like, why hang out with them? And it's like, well, because they're cool. And Mr. Lee always... for some reason, he had this way about him, so he could like talk to whoever. And as somebody who was very, you know, very in my own ways, of course, this is the. Of course, exactly. If it's Donkey's game of the year 10 years in a row, it's obviously the best game of all time. But how you doing, 241 Tuesday? But yeah, I ended up really liking. Like my teacher ended up like really contributing a lot to my love of retro games, because like I don't know, something about it just kind of clicked with me. I had never had a teacher up until that point want to talk about video games to me, and it was a big contributing factor to like why I started to do better in school, even if not directly, because I know a lot of kids were like, you just didn't try, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, but a lot of it was that none of the teachers really clicked with me. But Mr. Lee's, I always had a straight A. Always had a straight A. Science was always my thing. And if the science teacher was, like, even a little bit like me, I kind of understood the content better. Because I was like, why should I be interested in this? I was the kind of kid where it was like, why would I ever be interested in dissecting a frog? And the teacher's answer would always be like, oh, because you're a guy, and guys like to do weird and gross things. And I was like, that's not true. Because I don't like to do that. So, obviously that's not true. And eventually, just through the matter of fact of... Because I liked science and stuff, but when it came to certain things, there were certain points where I was just like, you know, I just don't like this. And it would happen randomly, like, there'd just be some times. Phanto, will you get off the screen? I'm having struggle times. Struggle times. Hey! How you doing, Solier? How you doing? Hope you're going quite well. I'm doing alright myself. Looks like I've got about 3 or 4 messages I gotta check. Sorry about that. Of course. Nothing too interesting there. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's so much better than the first game, and it's a lot better than the Lost Levels, which everybody likes to tout as, like, being the real sequel, but I say this game feels more like a sequel than Mario Lost Levels. I feel like if Miles Morales is, like, game 1.5, just tide people over before they can put out Spider-Man 2, then this is like the Miles, then Lost Levels was like the Miles Morales. It's like game 1.5. There's more meat here. And I know there's fewer stages, but there's more game here. There's more interesting mechanics, it's a little bit more complex. It feels more like a sequel. It feels like it builds more off of that classic Mario structure without being the exact same thing. And that's what I think makes a good sequel, in my opinion, is if you can build off the mechanics of the first, but introduce new elements and new factors that you probably wouldn't have thought about before. Because, like, this kind of like, this turns the whole game on its head, right? So, in the first Mario Brothers, you had to jump on enemies and whatnot. And that was like, yeah, it's Mario, he's gotta jump on the enemy. Here you jump on the enemy, but the end result is something completely different and new. And I think that's a lot of the... That's part of the factor that makes this game more of a sequel. I think if I was playing as Luigi, I could probably make it all the way up without having to switch rooms, but it's alright. Sometimes you just go a bit too far. There we go. How's everybody in chat doing today? I hope they're doing fine. I'm doing alright. Myself. Just been doing this. I've been working on Presto, like I have been for a little while now. For those who don't know about him, you can check my Twitter account and see me working on a fursuit every now and again. I just got done sewing the tail last night. In fact, this Wednesday, next Wednesday, I should say, is going to be the day we stitch up his head. We'll be doing that at night, so. And tomorrow is Jackbox, so be ready for that. I know a lot of you like our multiplayer stuff, so. Look forward to that. Everybody can join. It's always a good time. I don't know how many of us are going to show up for it, but, you know. Some of you may be asking when the SML Raccoon features are going to be coming out. I have no idea. That's all when he sends me those video files. I think it's the only Mario game where we can play as Peach. That is incorrect. We can play as Princess Peach in this game, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 3D World, Super Princess Peach, and a lot of the spin-offs. A lot of where you can play as Peach is like side games and spin-offs, but I still count it, because a lot of people like to call Peach kind of ditzy. But I like to Peach is still just as much of a part of this cast as anybody else. You mean 2D Mario. Super Princess Peach is a 2D game. Getting into ports and remakes of this game, so if anybody has ever heard of the Satellaview, which I know many of you guys have not, even though I've done a whole Zelda episode over the 3rd and 4th quests, go check that out if you've never seen it, or don't know what a Satellaview is. There is a version of Mario 2 on that system, where the Mario Brothers thought Mario, Peach, Toad, and the rest of them just kind of thought it was a weird dream and didn't actually like talk about it beforehand. But they ended up finding the exact same cave yet again and going to it and learning, yes, Subcon is in fact a real place, and it just so happens to be halfway in a dream dimension. So if anybody likes to tell you that this game does not happen, show them that game. It's the same game as Mario 2, but it gives a little bit of an explanation. It's another one of those Nintendo games where it happens twice, which I think is absolutely hilarious that video game designers keep thinking that that's a grand idea. So just make them play the same game twice. There we go. Beaten Mauser for the 2nd time. Don't forget to leave a like, by the way. Likes on this video help me out with the algorithm. Same with comments, subscribing, and ringing the bell. It all helps out me out with the algorithm. Gets more people to see my stuff, and the sooner you guys can do that, the sooner we'll hit 1,000 subs. And I've got a bunch of little promises that we've put in the Discord. Links are in the description for that, where you can see exactly what our stuff is. Exactly what's going on there. Oh, you know the name of that console because of a French gamer who does the AVGN thing in French. Ah, cool. Cool. Yeah, this Teleview is an interesting little little add-on. Certainly something to look into. I know they recently found some Kirby stuff within the past couple years for it, so that's been exciting. But the Mario 2 on there had orchestrated music from a soundtrack. I think it was 3, 2, 1 Hop, Skip, Jump Super Mario music, which I hope I'm saying that right. You can find it on YouTube. It's actually a lot. It's a really good bop, and I'd love to play some of the music for you, but I'd get copyright stricken, and I know it. I know it because I've seen those videos go down before, and I'm like, oh, that's scary. But yeah. But it also had live voiceover going over each of the characters. It's one of the earliest known times of voice acting in a video game, by the way, for these characters. Which is kind of great, because it's before, you know, we had Charles Martinet's Mario, which is... Sorry, I love Charles Martinet. Love his voice. So cool. But I've gotten better and better at doing his, like, Mario impression and stuff, and it's like... It's just a really fun voice to do. It's like, Yahoo! Let's go! You just give it a little bit of force. All of it rolls right off the tongue. Just love doing his voices. Anytime I have a chance to just go, let's go! I just do, because it's fun. It's fun for me. Best part is, like, I can actually do that, and I did, oh, what? So, fun story about that, I worked at a Subway for a while, and one of the things that somebody dared me to do when they found out I could do that voice is do that. Yeah, thank you. One of the things people dared me to do was, the next person that comes in, do their whole order in Mario. I said, fine. So that's what I did. I did their entire order in the Mario voice. So we got to the veggies, and we said, what kind of veggies? And this lady just gave me the ugliest look. Like, because, like, it's late at night. I was on the closing shift, and she was not happy that I was doing the Mario voice. At all. This little girl thought was, like, giggling a little bit. Like, she kind of got it. Like, that, we were just kind of messing around, having some fun. She got her order and stuff, but she was not happy about it. The only other time I did that was I did a Shaggy impression, and some people were like, let's see. Like, hey man, what kind of stuff do you want on your sandwich? You don't mind if Scooby shares it with me, do you? And, I got known around town as the kid who can do Shaggy's voice. Who has to do that? My coworkers. My coworkers thought it was so cool. Here's a fun trick. You'd never think to do this in a million years, but that birdo respawns, so it's okay. Trust me, I got stuck here, too. Like, it's not just you. I've been stuck as well on that. But no, we were just kind of joking around, which is normally what we did at Subway. I didn't like working at Subway, but you know, so be it. My boyfriend called me the Subway cat for a while. Because, of course, the odd one's out. And I'm a furry working at Subway. Haha, isn't that funny? So these little guys like to bounce around all over the place. I always thought I could see him like The Adventures of Lolo or something. Honestly, if Kirby was out by this time, would have been a really cool, like, Kirby reference. Yeah, it's the one to... they didn't even change that for the re-release, by the way, so... So in Japan, the game that came out, that was basically just this game, except not with Mario, is known as, a lot of people call it Doki Doki Panic. There is more to that title, though, and Doki Doki Panic is just heart-pounding panic, so, like, yes, there is more to that title, and I just do not remember it in the slightest, and I'm sorry for anyone out there who remembers it, and if you remember it and put it in the comments below, I will pin that. I will heart that comment so fast, because that is information that I have just been forgetting. But a lot of people just shorten it to Doki Doki Panic. It is a lot different. There is no run button. A couple of the obstacles are a lot harder because of that, and even parts of the games, like, you don't have to replay the stages with every character in this game. You did in Doki Doki Panic. To get to the final boss, Wart, you have to beat every single stage with every single character. And yes, it does take a while, but you can do it. Like, I'm not even kidding, though, that was that. And this is Fry Guy. Possibly the coolest, or hottest, Mario villain, who has never come back. I'd love to see him come back, though, because he is such an interesting design. He's also a design that can crash the game if you play it too fast. Ah, there we go, damn it. And I got to show off that trick. So that's the trick. If you could bounce the mushroom blocks off of your head in between getting hit, you can deal multiple damage, because it just matters if the... Basically, if any of these are going in a downward trajectory, it'll land a hit. Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic. Thank you so much, Solier. That makes... Thank you. If that was in the comment section, I'd heart it, but it's just in my chat. Now it's in the video forever. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. But yeah, the game's a lot different. And one of the jokes that a lot of early interneters did was Mama Luigi from the Super Mario World cartoon, which was a sequel, which is like the third or fourth season of the Mario cartoon, from the Super Show. And the fun fact I've got for that is the fact that the characters were named Mama, Papa, Boy, and Girl, I believe. Oh, and it was also all Arabic themed, so it was like Aladdin and stuff, which was kind of cool. But Papa was based on Mario, and you'd think Mama would be based on Peach, but Mama had the high jump, meaning it was Luigi. So the joke there is the Mama Luigi joke from all those years ago. Totally factual. Totally factual, and I'd love it if they could make a reference to it. Also, it's not about hitting a real one or not. This is all about just hitting all of them. It's just that when there's 4 of them, they like to jump. When there's just 2 of them, they like to pincer attack you. Ah, yes. Thank God. But thank you, Solier, for the trivia. That helps me out quite a bit. We're on World 5 of 7. And I don't believe we're an hour in yet, so... that means we're doing good. So it's up to you guys what you guys want to see next. I was thinking about just jumping right into All-Stars, but we could also do the advanced port of this game, which I think is a little bit more interesting. It's got different bosses, so if you want to do All-Stars, we could do, like, skip the levels, sort of, do a see how fast we can get to the end. I chose a terrible stage for Toad. Much better stage for Mama Luigi. Okay, Toad. Ba ba ba. Alrighty, here we go. Whoop. What? It's kind of hard with the moving background to keep track of where Toad is compared to the rest of the blocks. I guess just make it an extra challenge. Can you beat the game, but everything looks like they blend in together? Because it's all like a blue sort of hue. That's another thing I really like about this game. Oh, by the way you get this is going over top. And that's how fast Toad is with the coins. So this Birdo will only ever spit fire. So do not worry that don't wait for her to just don't wait for her to do her thing. It's all just a matter of what's going on. I believe, is it this month that's is it June that's Pride Month, I believe? I believe it's June that's Pride Month, which makes me very happy. Pride Month always makes me very happy. I know corporate corporate businesses like to use it, but 3D Land is very underrated. I totally agree. Everybody skips over it for 3D World because they like to think it's the same game. When they did 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, before they announced that, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if they remade 3D Land to work with the Switch? And I was thinking, yeah, it'd be really cool. They should do that. And then it was announced to it would be Bowser Jr.'s Bowser's Fury, and I was like, Bowser's Fury is cool, but oh, cool, but it wasn't like what I wanted. And I was like, but it's okay because it's so fun. It's just not 3D Land, and I was like, that's okay. That's okay. I still picked it up. I wanted to play 3D World without having to hook up my Wii U, but I guess it doesn't matter right now because I have my Wii U hooked up, so. Oh, I'd love to do that game on stream, by the way. But that is one where I'd love to get people together, but I need people with good internet to play with me, because... Or in the same room, because the online for that can be a bit of a mess. So that's a Bob-omb. This is the first appearance of Bob-omb in the Mario series. Unless somebody can show me otherwise. Bob-ombs are, of course, the coolest little dudes in the Mario series, because they explode. Their names are derived from bomb and orb. So orb like bomb. Like I said, you can go into any of these pipes. I love that it looks like kind of like an Atari area. I guess the idea that it's supposed to look like you're in a pot, but you're really small now. Which I think is kind of cute. Also, these vials will not work inside of the pots. You gotta take them outside the pot. You gotta think outside the bun. should have used it off to the right here then. Or maybe it was way back there, who knows. Yeah, that is extremely helpful for my end, too. I am very thankful for that. That is something that that's something I allow for retro games, because stuff like Switch Online, the Mega Man Legacy Collection, and pretty much every modern collection allows you to do. So I allow it, because if I can do it for an official Nintendo release of the game, I am physically allowed to, then I allow it. Because I don't think that's fair to not include it. Like, if I can do it on an official Nintendo release of the game, then there is no point. There's no point in not allowing it. Ugh. I know I yawn, but I'm not tired, I'm just playing Mario 2. I get sleepy, man, I get sleepy. Guys and gals and non-binary pals, I get fucking sleepy. You ever want to see me get sleepy? Sit me down with a video game I've played a lot, and just... Ugh. I guess just sit me down with Mario 2. That works too, I guess. Alright. I like to bring this PAL block to the boss fight. I can in other versions, but I guess I can't here. I played the Game Boy Advance version of this game quite a bit more, so... Excuse any mistakes, as he just doesn't know this version quite as much. Like I said, played the NES version a ton. Had a little Yobo NES knockoff clone growing up. Because, like, that was what my family could afford. It was like $20 when the NES was going for like 50. And, for those who don't know, Yobo make clone NES. What time is it in the US? It is 3... So, the US has different time zones across all of it, but from where I'm at, it's 3:10 in the afternoon. It is 3:10 p.m. So, like, 13:11, I believe, is the military time. I don't know, I don't use military time very often, so if I fucked that up at all... Or no! Be 13, 14, 15, so it'd be like 15:10 is military time. Sorry. I want to make sure I'm giving accurate information, but even me, sometimes I'm just like, I'm big dumb. Sometimes I'm just big dumb cat. It's okay. My boyfriend was in the military, and he can't even tell military time half the time. He's better at it than me. But he is also not the best at it. I know that for a fact. Because he once told me the time in military time and it was off by like 3 minutes. Which is how it usually goes. So what you can do is... basically plug up the enemy spawner, or you can do what I'm doing here. Spawn a shit ton of enemies. Oh, now you're not going to? Oh, of course, there it is. Hearts, man, they're crafty little dingoes. I don't even live in the, I don't even live in Australia. Da-da-da. No. There's multiple time zones in, America, so a lot of people ask me what time it is over here, and I'm like, well, since you didn't specify where, for me, it's this time, but a lot of people have different other times. Like, Artie and me, we have the same time. For SML, anytime he comes on, it is early in the morning for him. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. For Tomo, it's like a couple hours early. Just different times all around. I love the lava spawners. I hate the lava spawners. I do not like the lava spawners. Why are they in the tree? They don't need to be in the tree. Drake, where's the door hole? It's right there. I cut it out with a magic marker. You were supposed to cut it out with the power saw! Oh, I was going to. Jostles the fucking wood. Alright then, go do it! Fine, I will. Bonk. I see your problem now. Probably, I don't know. Like I said, 3:15 p.m. for me. It is certainly an afternoon. I'm just yawning because, like, this is generally the first thing I do in the morning. But like I opened the video with, I ordered pizza rolls this morning. I shouldn't be tired. You had enough time to order pizza rolls, but doesn't know how to tell military time? Like, shit. This cat's fucking useless. You ever want to cut to the heart of a problem? Just be like, yeah, this cat's fucking pointless. I will 100% agree with you. So at World 7-2 will be our final boss. I believe we're on World 5 or 6 right now. So we are in fact coming to the end of a version of this game. So do you guys want to see Advance, or do you guys want to see All-Stars next? Because Advance is like a better version of All-Stars, with some massive differences. All-Stars is like a more direct adaptation. Mario Advance, yeah, so it's the Game Boy Advance version of this game, with some added differences and features. It was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance, and had a lot of nifty little helping hands. It also had voice acting. done by their voice actors at the time, including Charles Martinet. Alright, good to know. This is Cloglip. I'm just gonna mess it up on purpose, because that's what it says in the credits. In the credits of this game, they messed up the translation. It's Clawgrip. But Clawglip is hilarious to me, so... was not incredibly whatever on the Game Boy Advance. In fact, it was really solid on the Game Boy Advance for every single one of those. The advance ports of all of the Mario games are probably some of my favorite versions of each of the games. Yoshi's Island is pretty good, although there are some minor differences that I think make the Super Nintendo one better for 100%, but World on the Game Boy is so good, and Mario 3 on the Game Boy Advance is so much better than Mario 3 on the NES, and All-Stars combined, because it has added e-reader levels and stuff. And when we do that game, I'll be playing it on my Wii U, because there's just no reason to go back to the NES version. No, it didn't. Sonic did not have more ports on the Game Boy Advance. No, Sonic had one port on the Game Boy Advance, which was Sonic 1, and it was made on a budget, really cheaply, only released in the States, and ran like garbage. Mario 1 was on the Game Boy Color already. Mario 2, 3, World, Yoshi's Island, Mario Party Advance, Mario Kart Advance, and while Mario never had an original title on the Game Boy Advance, all of those titles are really solid and worth your time. Meanwhile, Sonic Genesis for the Game Boy is not good. Had more than ports. That's true. I just read had more ports. I'm sorry. That's what I get for trying to play a game and read chat at the same time. Can be a bit of a rough one. My problem is if I have like somebody like Tomo read my chat, is he doesn't want to stop reading chat. So it could be a bit tough for me to just be like, hey, can you stop for a bit? Which is why he's not in chat today. Because, like, I don't like him freaking out and being upset and having an attitude on my stream. Which is what happened just the other day. So I'm like, yeah. I'm just gonna pilot this ship as best I can. Figured I'll get somebody in today. Eventually. We started this whole stream at like 2. Looks like I'm having troubles already. I'm just getting started with my trouble. No, I'm okay. I'm just playing Mario. Just playing Mario 2. So in the other ports of this game, he just... A little bit, yeah. He just basically got upset with me for asking him to stop reading chat, and started to grumble and get huffy, and Because he interrupted our conversation between me and Oxide, and it was like, okay, bud. Chill. There we go, that's what I was trying to do. But yeah, he just gets kind of huffy, and I'm like, okay. I don't like telling him no, because I know he gets kind of huffy and upset. And I know I'm like the one person he talks to. So, I just don't like being a dick, but I also, sometimes I gotta be a dick. Which is really, it's just a bit of an issue, because it's like, I don't like being an asshole. That's something a lot of people can say about me. I don't like being the asshole. I don't think anybody likes being the asshole. It's just like, don't interrupt conversations, bud. Oh, that's weird. It's a byproduct of the emulator, yes, but it's still weird. But not so much an issue, just... Yesterday was weird. Yesterday was just strange. But it's okay. I'm on today, and today is a different day. Okay. I'm looking for keys and playing Mario 2 today. All-Stars, yes, so we'll be doing All-Stars and the advanced port of this game. And I wanted to know which one you guys wanted me to do next, because both of those ports have their merit. And are quite a bit different from each other. Then you can play the better version. I mean, it's technically, I'd say it's advanced, but some people like All-Stars more because there's more titles in that package, and that's perfectly valid. So, the Phantos were adapted in the comic book. I believe what we were going to do with them was make them a, we were going to make them like a, security system for Wart. I don't remember exactly what the design... If I was the one who designed it, or if it was somebody else. But we had, the initial idea was just... make the face would be, like, on the wall or something. And the Phanto guards were going to chase Mario. I'm talking about the comic book adaptation for the movie. I'm not talking about anything else with that. So don't worry about, what? That doesn't sound like Mario. I'm like, yeah, I know it doesn't, because it was for a comic book movie adaptation sort of thing. Very different sort of Mario than what everybody else remembers. Ah, we're at 6-2, so we're coming to the end here. Message retracted. That's fair. Oh. Okay. You could have left them up, Fox. No, it's all good. Just talking some Mario. I choose the worst levels to play Mario, I swear. I'm just like, yeah, let's... There we go, an extra hit. But yeah. So the Mario sprite here seems like an earlier version of what the art style they were going with, because this one has the whites of the eyes and the ducking sprite doesn't. So, yeah, that can be an interesting... That could be an interesting talking point, that some of these sprites seem like they're from a much earlier build than what we know of. But they just kind of used them, because it mostly matched, and they didn't have to redraw anything. or redistribute the pallets or anything, so... Which is fair. I do think it's weird that these birds just jut. They've got this really fluid downward movement with their wings. And then this really quick jut back up. I'd love to take these sprites and do a full reanimate. Like, just flip the animation, make it go backwards properly. Just some of these sprites, man, I look at them and I'm just like, they're great, except I think I could do better. And I know there's somebody on YouTube that already does that for a lot of different sprite animations. And I don't want to steal his thunder, because that's not fair. Because he's much better and more talented at a lot of things than I am. And I would just be redoing that sprite. Maybe that's something I could do one of these days and put on Twitter or the group, the Telegram group. I have a Telegram group. Links are in the description for that. Birdo is green now. So each colored Birdo is different. So the red ones will shoot fire and eggs, and the green will only shoot fire. It's like a green or like a tan, depending on which stage you're at. The Game Boy Advance version fixes this by just making them green. And of course, we've got cars outside. I'm not outside, but with the sounds of these cars, you'd think I am. Hi, I'm Steve McClure. Or Steve McFl- I don't know how to say his name. When you want to do a Futurama voice, but you just feel like you're gonna fuck it up. And then you can't remember the name right. So this is our second fight against Strikeline. Yeah. There are 3 Birdo types. And all Birdos are great, so... I'd love just once somebody to just be like, I identify as a Birdo. I'd just be like, you just keep birding the Birdo. I don't even know why. I know they're called Birdo because like, they have eggs, but like... What was the whole association with Yoshi? When did that come around? Because I never looked into that. Always been curious, like, when did that start becoming a thing? With Birdos and Yoshis. Because Birdos don't show up in... Birdos don't show up in Mario, in Yoshi's Island. So I'm like, when did that happen? Anyways. My weirdness aside, we are moving on to World 7-1. We are almost to Wart's Castle. These are the hardest stages of the game, and... Oh, man. Really growing to love this game. After all this time. All of these years, and Mario 2 is still just as great as ever. Absolutely love it. And if you like more Mario content, I've got a whole playlist with them in it. And right now it's just Mario 1 and 2, but I'm sure by the time a lot of people will be watching this, there might be Mario 3 or Mario World in that playlist as well. I shouldn't have dropped him there, but that's okay. We got past him. So who's excited for the new Mario movie? I'm worried it won't be as good as the Sonic movie, so... yeah. And that is a serious... you're kind of excited. That's kind of where everybody I've talked to has been at. They're like... kind of excited, kind of just there. And I don't blame anybody for feeling that way, because it's all... because it's like... that's where it's at, right? We've got Chris Hemsworthy and everything, and he's not even doing the Mario voice. It's like, is that even going to be Mario then? Because getting the character isn't just like getting the character down, but you've also got to get the voice. And I know Charles Martinet's in the movie, and I know if we watched the whole movie of Yahoos and Me's, it might not be the most watchable or enjoyable thing for most people, which is fine. But, like, just to throw a celebrity name on it, just because we can get a celebrity name, we're Nintendo and Illumination, just kind of, puts a sour throat in my taste. Yeah, sour taste in my mouth. Because, yes, I too can English. And it's okay not to be excited for something. It's okay to feel bored from time to time. That's something I've told my boyfriend a couple times before. Sometimes I just like being bored. Just not having anything to do. Just that nice euphoric feeling of I have nothing to do and no real reason to do anything at the moment. So it's like, yeah. Good feelings to have. Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting too much out of it. From the writing to the... I expect to be paint-by-numbers, rescue the princess sort of movie, which I really don't want it to be. I think they just kind of went with them because that's, like, the easiest one to do. And that's okay. That's alright. Alright, now we're on the final level of the game, and I figured let's play Mario for the final stage. Might have to choose the princess, because this is ludicrous. Oh, come on. I did a light tap. No. I'm gonna be honest, no. Because the minute I realized that they were all just kind of like making fun, I stopped watching. Because when a lot of those videos came out, I was a little kid. And, like, Mario was one of those characters where I liked him a lot. It was one of those characters where, like I said, it's what got me into a lot of the history and research for videos and stuff that I do today. So, when I think back to those style of videos, did I watch them? I saw them pop up. But I never watched them, because I just didn't... like, I didn't sit and watch them, because I didn't want to. It just wasn't what I was interested in. A lot of what I wanted to watch was, like, gameplay. I wanted to see new and interesting experiences. I hope not. I sure as shit hope not. Those models are rigged like puppets, and no. I saw an animation by somebody who used to work at Blue Sky Studios. They did of Luigi, with Charlie Day's voice in the background, and it was that was something where I was like, I could see them doing that, and I'd be okay with it. Here's a visual glitch for you. Anyways. So, this whole stage is built like a maze. Oh, no. Rip Blue Sky? Yeah, they got bought out by Disney. Which is a real shame, because Blue Sky Studios was actually one of the few studios where they treated their employees nicely, and their animators nicely, and it wasn't just work, 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 and little pay. It was a good studio to work with. If I saw Blue Sky Studios and knew exactly what they... Like, everybody just knows them for Ice Age. And that's the only reason Disney bought them out. Yeah! Everybody thinks that at first. Did he just kill the door? Nah. No. That's just a visual glitch. But Blue Sky Studios was one of those studios where it's like, if they made a Mario movie, I'd be down to watch it. In fact, I watched Rango when that came out. I watched Ice Age. I've watched, I think, all except for one Ice Age movie. And the whole reason Disney bought them was just to say they own Ice Age. Which is terrible. I think that's a terrible thing to do. Especially because that studio kept so many animators employed and happy. And, I don't know, I just think that's really, really sad. It's just upsetting, you know? You'd think the Birdo fight would ever get any easier. Oh, really? Ducking just doesn't work there. Fascinating. Well, them and Elon Musk, yeah. Just buy up everything and call it a day. I think it's kind of a terrible idea to do that. You're snuffing out competition, things that strive you to do better. It's like if I were to, It's like if I were to just start tracing other people's work because I thought it was easier. And I thought their stuff looked better than mine. Like, that's not a good way to do anything. Like, make something good on your own merit. So in that locked door is... In that locked door there is... the way forward. The way to the final boss. First, we've got Phanto. chasing us. Rio really should have been the movie that launched Blue Sky popularity, not the Goofy. Why Rio didn't come out till years after that? Rio was like was a really late movie for them. Ice Age had like 2 sequels by that point. And Rio was not as interesting. I didn't like Rio as much as what everybody else says. I didn't say they always put out the best movies, and they didn't put out my favorite movies. I just said they were nicer to work for than Disney. And a lot of other animation juggernauts, so... Like, given the chance to work for Disney or Universal, I'd probably work for Disney, because it's a better repertoire. But if I could, I'd work for a smaller studio. Because I'd much rather... I'd much rather be treated better because they can't afford to lose me than, yeah. That's perfectly fine. Rio and Rio 2 have a lot better color palettes, and they are a lot flashier of films. With Ice Age, I think they probably should have stopped. They should have realized, okay, after Ice Age 2, maybe make an Ice Age 3 and stop and call it there. There's no need to make 4 or 5. There's no need to make a ton of sequels. You don't need to make the next, like, Shrek or whatever. Just make some good films and people will watch. So this is the Dream Machine. It's making vegetables. Wart hates veggies. So... Alright, Sage 4 and 5, yeah, no real purpose. And all Disney wants to do is, like, oh, look, we have all of your movies, ha ha ha. It's like, yeah, you're a giant evil corporation, how about you stop? And this is somebody who does 2D hand-drawn animations from time to time. I am not a big animator, and I just don't animate like I used to. I used to make sprite animations every week. I just don't like animating that much anymore. I'm more of just... I prefer to just put out art that looks good. Animations take a while, and I've never been able to make them look super great. And the few that I have put up on my... put up on the Telegram channel, which you can sift through and look through and find the little GIFs that I've made. Which I've always thought maybe one day I'll get back into animating, but... The way I animate and the way a lot of other people animate are very separate things. I do a very traditional, hand-drawn... Each frame is its own separate piece. And a lot of people do puppet animations. But it just doesn't fit for YouTube. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I'd love to do a long-form animation for YouTube. But, YouTube marks those as for kids. Whether they have cursing in them or not, they mark them as for kids. I don't know if some have noticed, but a lot of my content isn't marked as for kids because it's not. I say the F word way too much. I say fuck. Damn shit. Way too much. I say it enough to be noticed, and I just don't feel like that'd be fun to animate. I like animating, like, happy little things. Some of you out there have seen my animation of Sin the Deer. That is an animation I was super proud of when I finished. Wart. And we'll see him one more time in this, across this whole thing. He shows up again in, Link's Awakening. And it's remake, which got me really hopeful that maybe they'll do a remake of Mario 2 one day in the proper fashion. I always figured if they made a playable Bowser, Wirt would have to be the villain. Let's be real, we'll never get Wirt as a villain again. Alright. We've rescued the Subcon people, and yeah. Alright! Oh, and I've accidentally paused the game. We're up to 6 likes and 6 viewers, that's always good. And I'm only about 45 minutes in, I believe. I'll need to take a look here. Oh, and we're 2 hours in. Oh my god, I did not even think that was gonna take 2 hours. Oh shit. Well, would you guys rather me hold off Mario Advance and Mario 2 All-Stars for another stream, or would you guys want me to continue? That's up to you guys. You got time? I got time. I got all the time in the world. I've just got 2 commissions to finish, and that's about it. Continue, please. Okay. Would you guys like to see All-Stars? Sorry, I'm opening up my soda. Would you guys like All-Stars next, or Advance? All-Stars, gotcha. Gotcha. I vote continue, don't care what. Cool. Alright, we'll jump in with Mario All-Stars next, then. We'll do All-Stars 2. Once the credits play, of course. Hey, if you guys are down for continuing, I'm down for continuing. Maybe I should say it again. I've got a PayPal down below. Feel free to donate. I've got, if you've liked the video so far, leave a like, subscribe. Video's not over yet. We're still going. I guess we'll do All-Stars next. Ooh, I am all sorts of stretching out today. I've also got a Twitter down below and a Discord that you guys can join. A lot of people don't know we have the Discord, so please use the links. They're very helpful. I like when people put the stuff down below, because guess what? There's a lot of fun stuff down there. Oh, right! I totally forgot this. Slipped my mind. Happy birthday, Revolta. Shout out to Revolta. It's his birthday today. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. This animation of Mario is pretty good. They really started to get a handle of the NES by this point, and I think it really shows. These large sprite animations. They don't need to be real detailed to be. This is what I mean, this game is so much longer than the previous two. Alright. Filed. Alright, let's load up Mario All-Stars, shall we? Go to the SNES file, and this time around I will do warps, because that'll be fun. Of course, I'm in the wrong folder. I always choose accuracy when I play these. Alright. Oh, cool. It just fit right like that. Let's get right into this. So I do actually have a carton of All-Stars Plus World, and that's why I always pick this version. Which is the version Nintendo never re-releases, which is always strange to me. Has the better Luigi sprite for Mario World, so... What emulators do I like to use? So this is RetroArch, but it's using the BSNES core. So, technically BSNES. But for a lot of what I use, it all comes down to preference. So, like, if I could use real hardware and get footage that looked this good, I would always do that. But I don't have an SNES that would output at 1080p resolution like this. I just can't afford to get the SNES by analog. Love to do that, just don't have the funds. Same with getting up the same with getting something like I have the Poly Mega coming, but I probably won't see that till next year, which is a real shame. Yeah, a lot of stuff costs a ton, which is why I always ask you guys to donate, believe it or not. So the reason I always ask for donations is because all of the donations not only go to help me get, like, groceries and stuff, so I can continue to just survive, but it also goes to any hardware and content that I can use to get better content. So, like, my first goal is to get a new capture card, so I can record at higher fidelities, make things look real nice. Because right now I use a Mirabox, and it's nice, it's cheap, but it's a $30 capture card. It's not great. Groceries are super expensive right now, and I have a boyfriend who is gracious enough to let me stream while he is at work instead of me finding an actual job, like working in Taco Bell or something. He has graciously he's been afforded enough funding to allow me to do this, but it's still not a whole hell of a lot, and it does really help when you guys commission me for art pieces and donate. I don't get donations very often, and every donation comes with a shout out. I check my donations about midway through the stream usually. So yeah, after this I'll probably check them, like, once I finish up Mario All-Stars, but yeah, every little bit helps. Sweet! But this is the All-Stars version. A lot of these sprites you're going to see in the future, and I like All-Stars enough. Bam. Alright. How about you guys pick up the... you guys can pick the character for the next level if you guys want. Like I said, we'll go for warps this time around. Oh, like yeah, because, well, this is also very clean footage captured on an emulator directly through my PC. It's not like I'm recording off the actual hardware, which I'd love to do one day, but one day is not today. It's just a matter of what I can use around me. Like, I've got all the hardware side of things, I just don't have the good capture card for this. Thought about getting a built-in one for my computer, but... you know. Capture cards can be pricey. And that's just how it goes. Sometimes I'm like, alright, I'll just capture it through my computer. I'll get the Steam version and hope I can use a controller. Which is generally what happens. So, like, me working on a fursuit, that has been a long time coming, and it was quite a lot of money to get my personal suit made, and to also make my suit, but it was cheaper to make Presto than it would be to commission somebody to buy it. It also happens a lot faster. Like, we started Presto at the beginning of the month, and it's already the end of the month, and the head's almost finished, which is the hard part. And I have the tail done and a printout thing that somebody gave me for a better looking tail, but I'm just not gonna make that yet. So, feel free to pick your next guy. Luigi. We're going with Luigi again. Gotcha. Hey-oh, Luigi. Luigi time! Anyways. I feel like I'm getting a bit stuffed up, so excuse me for any, like, nasally sounding stuff today. I probably don't sound nasally, but it could all just be in my head, which happens from time to time. Gotta love the stopwatch. Oot. Like I said, we're going for warps this time around. So let's start off with a pretty well-known warp. There's a bunch of warps in this game, too. And boom, we're already halfway through with the game. We'll pick Luigi for this one. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I have a lot of fun playing these Mario games for you guys. Can't wait till we get to like stuff like Mario World and whatnot. That's the only known warp that I've got in my head that I remember. Everything else is just kind of there. I think we'll go with... I think I'll give another one a shot, but I don't know if it's actually going to be a warp or if I'm just misremembering. Which is very, very... Sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm just misremembering things. And it's okay to misremember things, because you're only human. You can't memorize everything in a game you don't play all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I play Mario 2 a ton. But I've played Mario 3 and Mario World way more. I know you do, Sully. Yeah, you've told me before, actually. I think you told me back on the stream before last about it. I did hear your opinion on it, though. Alright, for this next stage, we'll go with Princess Peach. I remember my dad always chose Princess Peach. Because he always told me he chose Peach because he liked to float. Which me and my little brother made fun of him for because it was like, my dad's a girl. But then we saw the flying potential and my dad was like, no, watch this. And he showed me how to do this entire little bit without ever having to press the D-pad more than once. Which was super cool on his end, but I can't do it. It's been a while since I've been able to do it. But it's alright. It's all good. I do when it's something I care about. Like, if I care about something, I will remember it to the end of time. If it's been ingrained in my mind, I will never forget it. Something like school, on the other hand, just not much. I think this is the warp. Sweet! We got another warp, everybody. And now we're at World 6. Like I told you, this game just has some game-breaking warps, and it's kind of great. Our next run through will be with Mario Advance. So, and I won't warp there because there's actually a lot of new content, a lot of different bosses compared to the NES and All Stars version, including Robo Birdo, which is like the coolest boss ever. A ferret named after Robo player. I don't know anything about France, but a lot of you guys seem to be from France, and that's pretty cool. I knew one girl from France one time, and she didn't speak very good English, and I think I offended her, but I was a little shithead, so it's okay. It's okay. She didn't know very good English, and I don't know, I just don't think we had enough in common. But I also think I probably offended her because I've made a couple of really stupid French jokes in the past, and I've never known if they offend people or if they find it funny. I've heard kind of a mixed bag. But, like, I will happily make fun of Americans, because I'm American, and I think it's kind of funny to go, haha, we're all fat burger eaters. I think it's kind of funny. Just a little bit. I figure if you can't laugh at yourself, then you're not doing it right. This one? No. We will find the right jar. There we go. You think it's funny, though? Alright, if you think it's funny, I'll do it. But it's literally, like... I've heard a couple people before, like, they just don't like it. And that's okay. If they don't like it. I just do, like, this really stereotypical... We are France! Baguette! And I don't know why, but I will say that every now and again to myself, and I will laugh hysterically and just giggle to myself for minutes on end. And I don't know why. You guys can make fun of me in the comments. You can call me what you will. I just think it's funny. I appreciate all my French viewership, though. You guys are the best. I think it's really interesting that a lot of you guys tune in. In fact, any of my viewers, really, it's all kind of cool that I can get anybody to watch my stuff. Puts a kind of smile on my face where I'm just like, that was odd, wasn't it? Like, yeah. At least they thought it was funny. At any time where you're like, not funny, didn't laugh, like, perfect. That was something I used to say a lot. When I was younger, I used to say, not funny, didn't laugh, a ton. And it wasn't because of the DK thing, it was before that happened. Before the whole DK rap became, like, the most well-known meme. I just was like, I'd laugh at something and then go, not funny, didn't laugh. I don't know why. Oh god, I was a weird kid. Like, oh man. Some of the weird things I would laugh at. Just strange. Just all sorts of strange. All sorts of strange. All sorts of Doctor Strange. I actually wanted to watch Multiverse of Madness, but on a recommendation of Artie, I should wait until it comes out on, like, DVD or Disney Plus. Which I'm cool with. I'm okay with waiting. That is something that can happen. There we go. Rewinds are great. You were also like that as a kid, where you just laugh at whatever. I used to laugh at, like, the stupidest shit. But, like, I used to like making people laugh a lot more than, like, I liked laughing myself. One of the things I used to do was, like, I was not messing... I was, like... I had never gotten to touch, like, the white... The screen for, like, a projector screen, and I was always interested in it. And I touched it once, and the kids laughed at me. And they were like, look, it's a cat. No, I was in middle school. I was a closeted gay and closeted furry. And they were laughing at me for, like, touching the screen once or twice. Because I was, like, I was interested in what that texture felt like. I was like, well, what does that feel like? Is it like a rough texture? Is it like a... The answer was it was like a weird fabric. But, like, a layered fabric. Weighted and... whatever. But, the end result was I started messing with the cord underneath the thing. And they just started fucking losing it. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because, like, I was making people around me laugh who I hadn't really heard laugh very much. So, a part of why I do what I do is because I like to make people laugh. So, if you laugh at my streams, leave a like. It shows me that you've chuckled at least once at one of my stupid rambles. Alright. Let me actually see how many... Fuck it. Fuck yeah! 8 likes. 8 laughs. Somebody just keeps mashing the like button on and off. Ha ha ha! Oh shit. Anyways. Sorry for being so ridiculous. But it's a good day. Good day for me, I guess. Good day for a lot of people. If you're not having a good day, I hope this makes your day a little better. Oh man, I can't wait till we get Presto finished up. I've got the eyes in and everything. I didn't get a chance to take any photos last night of anything. So, it was all from my phone, and I'm like, I don't want to take photos from my phone. My phone's camera quality is garbage. So if anybody wonders, like, where's the update on Presto? Oh, well, he was probably alone until 12 o'clock and doesn't have his phone yet. Or, you know, his phone is that garbage that's, like, blurring everything and he just doesn't feel like fiddling with it. Which happens. That is a legitimate thing then, where I'm just like, alright, guess I'm not updating people on the fursuit. There we go. I wasn't really the one to... I wasn't making memes, I was generally making jokes. Which is kind of fitting, because nowadays I do furry panels. I panels at furry conventions. Comedy-wise. In fact, this entire show, from start to finish, started because of a panel. So, I did a panel known as, if you're under 18, then you're 12. I told this story last time. But since a lot of you guys don't watch my art stuff and only watch the video game stuff, it's a little bit easier for me to just go, okay, let me retell the story. So, that entire naming scheme came about because, basically, in the United States, unless you're 18, the minute you're 18, you're an adult. But past that, it's no different from when you're 12 to if you're, like, 10. Like, at 12, they start considering you a teenager, even though you're not a teenager yet, because teenager would imply you're in your 13 or 14s. 13, 14, 15. Teen, makes sense. But instead of that, I was like, you know, if you're under 18, then you're basically just 12. There's no fucking difference. Because you can't fuck, you can't drink, you can't drive. Or, well, I mean, you can drive if you're 16, but, like, there's no real reason to. Essentially, I was like, you're not an adult yet, so there's no need to, like... There's no need to consider them adults. So if you're under 18, then you're just 12. You're just 12. And it just became a running gag. Actually had a couple people in the comments of that video be like, I am 12, and I'm like, yeah. So we sang that at a furry convention. Made an entire panel where we just basically got up to mics and memed around and talked about whatever for like 4 or 5 hours in an empty room with some mics still set up. And it became a panel. And eventually, we were like, let's do it officially, right? So, I hang out with a lot of the comedians in the furry fandom. A lot of them being smaller, because I don't know, like, I like Alkali, I like Zanny, they're cool people. But, I'm also not really... I don't have enough time to actually sit and talk to them very long, because they're always doing something. They're always super busy. But me and Status, we hang out quite a bit, and I've always kind of joked with her that, like, these streams, because we were originally going to do these streams for Anthro Ohio 2020, because it got canceled. We said, let's go ahead and do the panel on my YouTube, but we couldn't find the time for everybody to be off of work and in between jobs and stuff. Like, one of the ideas for this channel initially was to be like, okay, let's make let's just like do the VTuber thing, because that would be cool. Nobody needs to know what my face looks like. They're all way too easily distracted with everybody else. So, like, my face, whatever, doesn't much matter. Alright, where's the heart? Where's the heart? Oh, boy. Of course not. Of course there's no heart. Let's try this again. Sometimes there's a heart, and sometimes there isn't, and it boggles me mind. When did I get smacked? Oh! I don't know how to make it stop. There we go. I'm confused. Anyways, because I'm just a confused little cat. Let me just make sure that we're back on the... Yeah, it's just kind of a thing where I'm like, I don't want to show my face. I don't think anybody really needs to see my face. It's not necessary for what I do. Now, fursuits, absolutely. I'll show you my fursuits and stuff, but I'll show you my boyfriend's fursuit. I'll show you my voice, but I don't like showing my face. Not my thing. I figure that would be the strangest thing ever. Right? Because I've got one of those faces where it's just like, you look funny. I'm like, yeah. Like, a kid would look at it and go, you got a funny face. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Just, yeah, you right. Fuck it, I'll take the death. But yeah, this whole thing started out, other than the VTuber thing, it was gonna be that panel on YouTube. So, that's a fun fact to tell your friends. I know this Furry. He does YouTube, and he thought he could be a comedian. It's the funniest shit. It's the funniest shit. He turned himself into a pickle. Anyways, overtook the car plus something and my. What? I don't get it. I don't get your first one, but your second one, your first comment, just don't get it. I just don't understand. Anyways, and don't explain it to me. That ruins the joke. It's okay. It's okay to not have to explain it to me. I'm just an old dingus, so just be like, he doesn't get it. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay for me to be a dummy. Just let me be a dummy. When it comes to comedy, if some dipshit doesn't get it, just don't explain it. It's okay. I once got told that I lead a very interesting life. It's not that interesting, it's that I make terrible life choices and play them off as doing it to entertain people. That is not a joke, by the way. That is my honest to God truth. Like, if you think I say a bunch of shit just to say a bunch of shit, you'd probably be right. Yeah, this version of Mario 2 is pretty good. Nice, easygoing Super Nintendo port of Mario 2. Not my favorite port of this game. Definitely playable. It's on Switch Online, you guys can play it. Not like I'm gonna gatekeep and go, oh, but you haven't played the real version of Mario 2 until you play this one. No. You played the NES version, you played this. The next one, on the other hand, give it a shot. It's got some differences. Even if you think you know Mario 2. But if you've already played it, like, yeah, okay, I get it. This is like by the numbers, kinda. But the next version that we're gonna look at is a bit different. I once went through and got every Yoshi egg in that version of the game. There's no reason to ever do that, but, like, I did it. I did it to say I did. One of the things you can do here is just damage boost past this Birdo. But I don't really want to. I feel like I'm not doing my due diligence. That, and I don't like to lose my hearts in the final level. I find Wart to be harder than Bowser. Even in Mario 3, where Bowser's a bit tougher, like, I find Wart to be a lot more difficult. I did that in both versions of this game that we've played so far. I just walked right past that door. But yeah, once you kind of get a feel for this game, it can be just as fast as, you kind of see it now how it can be just as fast as Mario 1, but even a full playthrough of Mario 1 is, like, way faster than this. I'm not a big fan of Galaxy 2, but to each their own. This is the most colorful version of this boss room. And I'm missing... Yay. Eh. Alright. Like, 2 more hits, I think? I think? I really don't know. Haven't been keeping track. Too much thought, didn't think. Find it better than the first? I find the first better than 2, but it's okay. Like I said, to each their own. There we go. I've dropped my pen. Great. I'm gonna have to grab that real fast, guys. I dropped my, oh, shoot, it came apart. Okay, good. I didn't lose any of my nibs. My drawing tablet comes with a little fountain that I can hold my pen in. Has a little stand. And the cord just kind of bumped it. There we go. That's Mario 2 for the second time this stream. And I know you guys want me to keep going, I'm sure, so I guess we'll do Advance next. Of course, I'm going to take this time now to say that if you have been watching me for the full 2.5 hours, get up, stretch your legs, do a little bit of movement, of motion. Because that's what they are. They are theater masks. It's the traditional way that we showed a happy, frowning theater mask thing. Fun fact, before I played Mario 2, I actually had reoccurring nightmares about theater stage masks. And being locked in an empty theater. Completely fucking empty. Stuck on stage, giant mask staring at me. I didn't have stage fright. Never have. Probably never have. I don't think I remember anything before that. But, I don't know. Something about those faces just kind of freaked me out. I remember seeing them a lot in a Target that we went to a lot as a kid. So the Target has since like rechanged. That kid just looked at my window and pointed. I have a bunch of stuff in my window, like Paper Mario and Mega Man and Pokemon and whatnot, as well as my icon for YouTube. So yeah. So believe it or not, I actually, if you go down my street and find my icon, you know exactly where I'm at. Please don't knock on my door. If you're a fan of my content, do not knock on my door and try to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Because it'll be the most awkward conversation in your life. It'll also be probably a very disappointing day to meet me. You can meet me at a convention, though. And that is A-okay. But that was Mario 2 for the All-Stars. Let's load up Mario Advance. Let me just... How do I not actually have it in here? We'll all be damned. Give me just a second, folks. I've got to go find it. Hope you guys have been enjoying the stream so far. Remember to send it to your friends. Send the stream to your friends. Make them watch me. Leave a like, subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. That'd be cool. Remember somebody was like, just steal their phone and make them subscribe. They'll thank you later. I don't think going that far will help, but just you know, asking your friends to check me out, sending them a link and going, hey, go check out this awesome Mario 2 marathon. But next up is Super Mario Advance. So, whenever I can find it. Just, I cannot find it. There it is. Alright, sorry. I've got to, like, move things in between folders to get them to work. Alrighty. Load content. Sometimes I wish it would play in the background. Just play the audio or something. Instead, it's sometimes it's dead quiet and sometimes it isn't. GBA has a weird resolution. So, sorry if things don't quite line up with where they're supposed to be. Just see. There we go. Oh, and I've actually got to shrink it down a little bit. Cool. Alright, yeah, there we go. We get this lovely little intro animation. This was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance. Her fans, open up! Yeah, if you knock on my front door and ask, is a Gavin Dragon there? I will answer the door and I will look at you and ask, who's asking? And then politely ask you to leave. I'll say thank you for watching my content. You're staring at my studio. Please don't come in. Please go about your day. Find something else to do. Unless I know you, in which case, if I know you pretty well, I'll probably ask you to come in for a recording tomorrow or whatever. Let's get started! So, in this game, there's Mario Brothers, the original title. I actually have a review written up for every single version of that game, which I thought about making a video on, and then didn't, and then somebody else made a video on every version, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Cool! Cool. But right away, we've got differences. Big enemies will drop hearts when you throw them, against anything. Small enemies, you need a combo. Platforms will do weird things. And the game is going to be a little strange, so... Those are the A coins, or the advanced coins. We'll be seeing them across the advanced series of games. This game is somewhat a sequel to the Mario Deluxe that came out on the Game Boy Color. You are moving now. But yeah. I know later this year we're doing Luigi's Mansion properly. I know some of my co-hosts are still a little bit into that bit of, we've already done it. But that's Mario's Missing, and you guys knew it, I knew it. It was just for a meme, it's okay. It's okay. Should probably put that in the playlist as well. You hit that enough, it'll drop another one. So I don't know if we're going to be doing warps or like a half warp, half not. Just show off the latter half of the game. It's like all kind of up to you. Would you guys rather me warp the end or just play it by ear? Just play through all the stages, or only warp halfway through the game, or... Up to you guys! It's all up to what you guys want. I know I kind of want to play all the way through it, but not all the way through it at the same time. I guess we'll do all the way through it, because it's got some interesting things to it. Oh, including that you can take Birdo's bow off. Or you can. You gotta be standing in the right place. Full playthrough? Okay. A crystal! Yes! Mario, that's a crystal. Oh, man. We didn't get any coins this time, but as you can see, it's kind of like the Mario Advance sprites, except a bit higher up, bit higher res, bit nicer done. It's like Mario 2, but they had the time and the budget to really make it shine for the Game Boy. Boom. So many coins. We're getting such a high score. Try to beat my score. It's gonna be pretty easy. Don't even worry about it. Guess you could always, like, post your score in the comments below, like, hey Gavin, I beat your score in Mario 2. You're such a scrub. I'd be like, cool. Good job. Because I read all the comments, so anything you guys post, I'm like, cool. I know who watched the video and who's just a spam bot trying to sell me on, like, malware. Just going right in order here. Good old Toad. This is where a lot of the Toad noises started. If you want to thank anything for the Toad having a really shrill, like, smoked a pack and ate a frog sounding voice, here you go. As I have stated before, Birdo is trans. The manual states as such, and nowadays we call Birdo a female, therefore, I take it as we're going to be respectful and nice to Birdo and state that Birdo is a female. It's the nice thing to do. It's the polite thing to do. Birdo says they're a female. I respect that and call them a her. It's what Nintendo does. It's what I'm gonna do. Always liked the background for this. Always wanted a Game Boy Advance as a kid. Didn't get one until a little later. Until I was like 9, 10-ish. No, I was 8. I was 8 when I got I was 7 or 8 when I got my Game Boy Advance, but, like, I wanted one at, like, 5. Since I was, like, a 5-year-old, because, like, that's what we did all day on the playground. Was, like, one of the things that I did a lot was I had Power Rangers SPD on the Game Boy Advance. Would love to play it for the channel, by the way. But we had that, and me and my friend Landon would take turns playing that game in the playground. There was actually one, by the way, reversing with the voices are freaking hilarious. But yeah. Birdo's trans, so we shall respect it. It's the nice thing to do. Yeah. But even in Japan nowadays, they don't tend to say anything about it. And that's okay. It's not something that I feel needs to be mentioned every couple of minutes. It's a footnote for the character, and I'm okay with that. It adds character. It adds character to this character. But no, like, legitimately. As somebody who is bisexual, and I don't know if I'm considered anything different, but I've always I like both men, women, and I also like trannies and stuff. I like everybody, but at the same time, you know, like I said, I like everybody. As somebody who dates a gender-fluid person, it's okay. It's all good. Gender fluidity is fun. Fun topic to discuss. It's something I don't have the credentials to discuss normally, though, because I just don't know all the facts. I'm just a cat I'm a cat that plays video games on the internet. If you think I know anything for even a minute, you're crazy. Crazier than the cat on the internet playing the video game. But at that, anyways, yeah. But I don't remember if the Japanese manual says anything different. I'd love to look into all of this, it's just I don't have the time of day at the moment to do that. Sorry if the voice acting gets annoying. That's just a quirk of this version of the game. And you're a green sun watching. Exactly. Exactly. It's how this works. I'm just a cat watching this stuff. You think I know anything? You're crazy. So I believe the second one in this series that was released was Yoshi's Island. And I kind of like that each of these games have a little bit more personality than they already had. I mean, it's a Mario game. Of course it's going to have personality. But I like that each of these is going to have a little bit more personality than the previous. Go! On to the next level. I have no idea how long I'm gonna go, but whenever I finish this, it'll be the end of the stream, so... Yeah. Let's hope I'm not here for another 2 hours, because... Ugh. That would be the scariest video I make. Something where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go for a little bit. I'm just gonna play this game a couple times. And then, like, I've wasted all day and it's like 7 o'clock at night. Which has happened before, by the way. Right now, we're almost at 5 o'clock, so I'm like, maybe if we can finish it up by, like, 6... ish, maybe, so I can do other things. This version, it's a lot easier to get hearts, which I really appreciate. But we'll still do our best to not get hit. Also, with the whole Japanese not being afraid to say they're trans, it's less so that they're not afraid, it's that there's a different sort of stigma. Because in a lot of cultures, there's a different stigma to that. Like, being gay, there is a stigma to it, regardless of the culture, regardless of the influence. And even if that stigma nowadays isn't quite as pronounced, it's still there. And you can still feel the impact. And that's coming from somebody who's been, you know, classified as a hippie before because of my long hair. Or been classified as, oh, well, he's gay, so he doesn't understand this or that. Even though I understand quite a bit. And I don't think it's right to classify people, profile people like that, even if there is a stereotype. One of my favorite stories about this is my my great aunt. I believe that's what she is. She's my I believe she's my grandfather's sister or my grandmother's sister, one of the two. But she used to be a school teacher before retiring and saw me with my long hair, and I kind of kept to myself and thought I was a troublemaker and somebody who, if I were to be like somebody where if I was left alone long enough, I'd find a way to do drugs or something. So it's something terrible, something that's like, you know, where it's like, no, if you meet me and you know I don't know a damn thing. But she immediately assumed this. And that same afternoon, that exact same afternoon where she was side-eyeing my mom and judging her for her decisions of how to raise me, I pulled out my sketch pad, because I carried a sketch pad around with me all the time, and I still kind of do from time to time. Anytime I know I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be, like, alone for any substantial amount of time, I pull out my sketch pad, I bring it with me, and I draw stuff, I doodle. So I'm like, yeah. I think that's, like, the good thing to do. But, once she realized that, no, I draw and stuff, and I'm actually just a quiet kid. I was actually just a quiet kid who was kind of shy and kind of dorky and doesn't always know the right things to say. Or have the social cues, but I'm at least nice, I'm not a troublemaker, I stay out of trouble. Because I'm very well spoken. It kind of flipped it around on her. And she thought completely different of me, and the rest of her stay with my grandfather turned into a, oh, yeah, that Gavin kid, he's a real sweetheart, Amy. Because I kind of just changed the way somebody thought about me just by talking. Which is interesting, right? Because people will look at you one way and see one thing. And it can be sometimes very difficult to turn that around and say, no, I'm like this, not like this. You're judging me based on pretenses that weren't there. Which is fascinating to me. Utterly fascinating. Because I'm like, how many people look at my... I've talked about this before with my boyfriend. And we discussed, I wonder how many people look at my persona and think I'm underage, and think I'm just some kid doing shitposts. And he said, probably a ton. Because they see your design and they don't think prisms, they think, oh, it's a kid who likes colors. Because bright colors equals young kid, apparently, for a lot of people. And I was like, that's really weird. Because people have seen my videos, and they hear how I talk. I remember when I first designed him, and I asked some of my friends, I asked some of my friends, if you just took my profile picture, how old do you think I am? And a lot of their answers came up with like, oh, like 12. And at the time I was like 16. So I was like, I don't know what you guys are seeing here, but I ain't that. Wait, I didn't hit him 3 times, I only hit it twice. I only hit him twice, right, guys? Right? Did one of those hit twice? I'm confused. Anyways, but yeah. You can kind of see how that goes. Like, I'd love to know, chat, what was your preconceptions about my videos? Like, if you were to just look at my character, judge it based on the thumbnails, or based on my icon, how, like, of what age video, what style of video did you guys think this, like, my videos were? Without even telling me, with it's not gonna offend me if you guys think it's like, oh, it was a shitpost meme, whatever. Oh, it was like a little kid playing a video game. Like, if that's your thought, well, you'd know it's not now, but, so it's like, whatever. But, like, I'd love to know what people initially thought of my Sona, of my character, and of who I was. Guessed around there. Gotcha. Yes, I hit him twice. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that, as in, I know one Ferrero and they're 26. I getcha. I am... So, I'm 22. So... Maybe that's... So nowadays, so, like, if you say I'm, like, 26 or whatever, I've actually been mistaken as being, like, 26 when I was 18 before, and I had to inform people that, no, I'm only 18. So that was always fun as a kid to inform people, because they always get really confused. Actually, one of the con ops for a convention was only, like, 16. But they were going into law enforcement and stuff. And they held themselves very, very strong and to a very high moral standard. Like, just because, like, when I first went to cons, I wasn't old enough to drink yet. So I held myself to that standard of, I should be responsible for everybody around me. If they offer me alcohol, I have to let them know that I am only 18. And if you do this at cons, where you're just like, I'm gonna be the responsible one, and if they offer me a drink, I'll tell them my age, and be perfectly brutally honest with them, that is so much more mature than just accepting a drink. That'll gain you so much more respect, so much faster, than you would even know. Because it keeps everybody out of trouble. Somebody flirts with you, and you tell them your age. Once, maybe they missed it. Twice, okay, quit it. Third time, quit hanging out with the fucker. He's a pedo. He's Geppetto, anyways. Anyways, but that's what I mean. Like, if somebody offers you a drink and you're underage at a convention, politely inform them that, no, I'm younger than you think, man. Because it could get them kicked out of the con and you kicked out of the con for offering drinks. Actually, Pandez has the lovely Pandez has a lovely little song he sings at conventions about, that was odd, about underage drinking and being a terrible con goer. And I'd love to play it, but I don't know it off the top of my head, so... Three, two... Yeah, so if you don't... So if you're ever unsure about going to a con because you're a little younger, don't worry about it, just hold yourself responsible. And if you have to go with a parent or guardian, stick with your parent or guardian. Cons can get kind of weird. Just basically know who you are in your surroundings, and oftentimes that's the best thing for people at a convention. Is that if you're younger at a convention, know what you're doing. Tips with me, your local cat dragon, about cons and convention going. Not con men. I don't know anything about them, but I do know about conventions, so. I think this might be our first time doing the roulette in this version of the game. Or no, it had to have been sooner. Yeah, I might be getting a little sick. If I sound nasally at all this stream, I'm so sorry. I might be getting a little sick. Not sick of you guys, just sick in general. Definitely not COVID, I haven't been out anywhere, but still. Could be getting a little nasally. Ugh. Yeah. If you guys haven't already joined the little Telegram group that I have in the description, if you're in the Discord and stuff, cool. But there's gonna be art that I don't always post to Discord. Do I go to conventions often? I do. I actually go quite often. So the next convention I'm going... So, just this year alone, I've been to North Carolina's very own BRFF, Blue Ridge Fur Fair, I believe it was called. I've been to that, Michigan's MCFC, which is a great 18 and up con. You have to be 18 years or older to go to that convention in particular. And then in the end of this week, on the 27th, I will be at I'll be in my home state for Anthro, Ohio, which is a fantastic convention. If you've never been, please, I highly encourage you go. I'm hosting a panel there. It's a good time, regardless. You'll get to meet me and a lot of other lovely, lovely people. But the rest of my year is pretty booked out. I've got Anthrocon in July. I've got Anthrocon in July. I have... Fuck. Let's see. What else do I got? I've got Megaplex in August. I've got MFF in Chicago in December. And maybe IFC if I can squeeze it in, but it's not looking likely this year. Although I'd kind of like to. I need to talk to a couple of my buds and see what they got going on. If they're squeezing it in, I'll probably be able to fit it in, but if not... Nah. But... Hey, Andre the Kangaroo, I'm just talking about conventions. Which is perfect timing, because you're actually going to Anthro, Ohio. But yes, I go to conventions quite often. So originally, I did 2 1 year, and that was gonna be it. My first year, 2018, I did Anthro, Ohio, and MFF. My next year, I did 3. I did 2 or 3. I did 2 or 3. I did Anthro, Ohio, 2019, and For Reality, 2019. I think I might have done another one, but I couldn't remember fully. Sorry if I'm forgetting. I'm sure Karmic would be happy to tell you, because he was going to cons by that time with me. And then the year when I was supposed to go to a whole bunch of them, 2020, everything got canceled all at once that year, and I couldn't do anything, so... Yeah, so then this year, 2021, we started to go back with MFF and IFC, and I took a lot of precautions so I didn't get COVID. And it turned out to go really well. So for this convention season, I'm doing quite a bit. Oh, that's lovely. Glad you got your Twitch going. I'm not much of a Twitch person, so. But as for my conventions this year, I booked a whole bunch. Since my job is streaming and art commissions, conventions for me is kind of like going to. It's a lot different than what it used to be. It used to be just go, have fun. It's a vacation, and it's still that, but there's a much different aura about it. And it's not different, it's not bad, it's just different. It's now, when I go, I have to be mindful about promoting my stuff. I have to say, hey, nice to meet you. Here's my stuff, here's who I am, it's a pleasure. And oftentimes I'll find a group of people to hang out with, but I'll also talk quite a bit about this YouTube and my commissions, and I take down a bunch of notes, and I see who wants commissions, and after the con I ask a bunch of people. And yeah, it becomes a little bit more busy work for myself. And that's kind of by design, and it's kind of my fault, because I feel the need to promote this stuff a lot. Because I feel like if I don't promote it, then what good was going to the convention? This is Robo-Birdo. Oh, of course. Well, I mean, my commissions are only open, so if you want to commission me, I'm down for it, Andre, but just know there might be a little bit of a wait because of cons, because between cons and streaming, it can be a bit tough to be like, yeah, I can have that done in a couple days. Minus, oh, it'll give me a couple weeks because I've got a bunch of other stuff that I've gotta make sure gets done. Like these streams. And the whole reason I do these streams is because I want to get my name out there. I like talking with people. It's a little bit of social interaction. It's better than me just sitting at home doing nothing. I am creatively inclined. So when it comes to these streams, I do them because I like them. I like to entertain. Alright. There we go. Finally done. Robo-Birdo can be a bit tough. You're gonna leave? Alrighty, well, have a lovely rest of your day. I'm gonna still be here finishing this up. Nice, always a pleasure having you on, Soleil. Alright, we're halfway done with the game now. I've shown off what I want to show off with the Robo-Birdo and stuff. Let's see how long... Oh, we're at 3 hours now. Do you guys mind if we use a warp for the latter half of this game? I got a couple of other things I was looking to do, so... Especially some artwork that I could put up on the Twitter and the Discord, and the Telegram group, so... Links for all of that is in the description, by the way, if you ever are curious about where my Twitter is at. Where's this Twitter he talks so much about? It's in the description. It's also linked on my channel page. I make it nice and easy to find stuff. I also make it really easy for enemies to just smack me, apparently. Don't mind my playing, it's gonna be bad for a little bit. So I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. Why didn't I just wait? Alright, there we go. Orb. Why not? We'll just go in with Peach for a little bit. A lovely little one-up. Alright. You know what, I promised you guys a full playthrough, I might as well. I mean, I could, there's not a whole lot left from here that's different, so... All up to you guys, I guess. I was hoping that one of my co-hosts would show up for today, but it's all good. It's all good. Jumps are hard, anyways. Should probably speak up a little bit, shouldn't I? There we go. This is probably my favorite version of the game, though. Overall. Graphically. Auditorially. Just kind of a... nice version of the game. That was close. A time when the princess is like the best character to... I just wanted to give the... You know what? We'll just use this run through in particular to show off Peach, because why not? Why not? We don't get enough time with the darling old princess, where she's not the captured, so why not? Like I said earlier, though, I am starting to get a bit tired. So, excuse any yawns. Started out my morning just eating bagel bites. Probably gonna watch some more. I've been watching the Sarah Jane Adventures. That's a good talking point, right? Doctor Who. We've had the new Doctor, right? And I thought everybody was kind of in agreement that, like, yeah, he'd be a cool fit as the Doctor. Because, like, that's all that should matter, is his acting prowess, right? Are they a good actor? And some people are upset, like... It's like, don't be upset. These people, like, stop it. There's no need to be upset over anything else other than if you think he's not a good actor. But I think he's a fine actor for the role. You're gonna drop by 2. Okay. I'm confused by what you mean by that, but cool. Okay. Man, I don't know all the ins and outs in Discord, and I don't really use a whole lot of other people's servers. I mostly use them to drop links to my stuff. And that comes down to the fact that, like, that's what I do. Like, I post stuff about my art and about my other stuff, and a lot of the time people don't really care for what I have to say about that stuff, so... When it comes to joining new Discord servers, I don't know. It's a lot of the... It seems like a lot of the time... my interest in servers boils down to... Because I don't play online games very often. Our brief bout of Among Us and Jackbox tomorrow is going to be like the Because we're doing Jackbox tomorrow. I should state that again. Tomorrow is multiplayer. We are playing Jackbox. It'll be me, SML. I don't know if Artie's joining us, and anybody in the audience who wants to join in for that. It's always a good old-fashioned time when we can get people in for Jackbox. I believe Oxide wanted to join us as well, which is more power to him. I think it's great when I can get everybody together to play stuff like that. But, like, online gaming for me just isn't what I do. It's just not something that I see as that fun. Right? Because, like, I didn't grow up with the internet. My mom couldn't afford it. My dad could afford it, but he didn't want to see us on the internet, so... If I was on the internet, I was doing research for schoolwork. So, like, online gaming to me, just, it just doesn't have any appeal. I had one friend who was like, a lot of friends who were like super into Call of Duty and stuff, but I knew that the minute they started playing Call of Duty, well, there goes the rest of my time that I can spend with that person, because I was less cool than the Call of Duty. So, if I was around and my friends decided to start playing Call of Duty, there goes the rest of my time that I have to spend with my friends, because they have decided that they'd much rather play Call of Duty, because I just couldn't join. And I've asked before, and they told me, no, not really. I'm like, okay, just have fun with your online game. So that's kind of how it goes. So online games to me, I don't see the appeal. Just ain't what I got. Kawaii Duty, exactly. We can get all 7s. We can get all 7s. I want to show it off at least once. There we go. I just wanted to show off that you get 5 lives. That's why you won't see me on any of, like, VR chat or anything. It's just not what I can do. It's just not what I handle. I don't handle well with that stuff. It's just not me. It just doesn't fit well. It's kind of like Facebook's metaverse shit. It's a crappy knockoff of VR chat where you can do less and have to have your human face on all the time. What is the point? Because I know people who are like, why can't I import models? This is kind of a shit VR chat. Well, that'd be how you get that, but... She's ready for me this time. Anyways. I mean, it's a worse version of pretty much everything I've ever seen that tries to do something like it. VR chat, Second Life, shopping on Amazon. It's just a worse version of all of that. Plus, it steals your data even more than everything else. So it's like, fuck that. I'll just fill out a Chipotle survey. That'll give them as much information as they need. God. Alrighty. We're at World 5. We're coming to the end of the game, which is lovely. Always a good thing to see. I know you guys really like watching me play these games, but sometimes it can be more fun to just be like, yeah, I finished that game. That is the one thing. When I don't have a co-host, I can run through information, like, super fast. The chat will have... it was something about Tomo. I love him to death, but sometimes he would ask the same question that chat had just asked. And I had answered the chat, but then he'd ask it, and I'd answer it again. It's like the memes. I don't understand memes. I'll say it every time. Don't get it. Do not get the point. Most of what I laugh at impact font bullshit. Like, you guys are laughing at, like, I don't know. I once had a kid explain to me what the fuck a deep fried meme was, and I was like, that makes no sense to me. What about it makes it funny? And it's like, it's not supposed to be funny, and I was like, then why? That was my legit question. Then why? No, it's not, Revolta, and if you say it one more time, I'm going to delete the comment. Cool? We all in understandment? That's what I thought. I mean, it gets annoying seeing it pop up in my chat a million times. Truman, it's some D's nuts joke or whatever. I don't know. Something about testicles. I don't know. All I know is if you think testicles are funny. Why? Maybe they'll chuckle at balls. Actually, I think balls is a funnier term. Because what the fuck does that even mean? Like, I've seen the word balls so many times in my life where I'm just like, is that even a word anymore? And a lot of words get that way. When you see them enough and hear them enough and spell them enough, they just don't become words. They're just a collection of letters. In the loosest sense of in the loosest sense of what a word is. So glad this game is getting to the end, because I feel like I've been here for like 4 hours. All I know is that we're doing the advance. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Truman. Is that like a Resident... Is that like a Metal Gear thing? Did you get that from like one of those Metal Gear like redub things or whatever that you've been watching? Alrighty. Like, I don't mind laughing and joking from time to time, but I think that repeating something 1.5 million times is not going to make it more funny. It's just going to annoy people. It's why I find Artie going and saying something these nuts is because it's funny. It's because she says it at an unexpected time. And it's just enough to throw me off of whatever the hell I'm thinking. It's why I'm cool with her doing something like that, and not the chat just repeating the word goblin over and over and over and over again, because that just doesn't make any sense. Mario games don't even have goblins in them. It's got kappas and demons and crazy birds and talking mushroom folk, but they shouldn't. There's no reason for them to. That doesn't fit into the world they've already created and established for themselves. They've created a world based with vegetables and vegetable and talking fungi and giant evil turtles. It just doesn't fit. Because that's more of a traditional American thing, a Western idea of what makes a mythological creature. It works a lot less. Alright. It's taken an enemy for the original Mario Bros. That is a Cloglet.
You'll make a tasty treat.
Yarr! Like, landed and then didn't land at the same time. There are more Japanese influences with Goblin, but it feels like more of a Western idea, because a lot of Goblin inspirations actually come from Northern European influences than it does Japanese. Now, yes, there are a lot of different Goblin-type creatures, like Kappas and whatnot, but if you see the way Nintendo uses Kappas, and compare that to a traditional, what you'd think of as traditional Goblin, and you'll see that the idea that Nintendo poses for what a Goblin can be, and what and the way that people look at them in mythology, you see very different ideas. And I think a lot of what draws me to the Nintendo ideas is that they're not always from Western or Japanese sources, and sometimes they're a hybrid of those. So, like, I just think it can be fascinating to look at. So a lot of what people say when they say this stuff, I know they're just memeing and joking or doing whatever, but a lot of the time I look at it and I think it's not quite right? Like, it wouldn't fit. Like, a lot of the Nintendo worlds are very multicultural inspired pieces. There's a lot more Japanese influence than a lot of the others, but you can still clearly tell where each part fits in. And you can't really tell me no, because, like, this is just how it fits, this is how it works. If you tell me that they've taken chestnuts and designed them 2 times over, they've taken the idea of a chestnut as an enemy in both Mario and Zelda and done it slightly different in each of those versions. So, like, Mario, we have the Goomba. And in Zelda, we have the Octorok, which is more of an octopus influence the more you think about it. But you get something like a Deku Scrub, where that is clearly almost the same as a Goomba. In the way it looks, acts, functions. But it takes that plant root more than it does the seed root of things. Which makes it a far more interesting looking and responding creature. And yes, I know, I can get very passionate about different creative things. Nintendo Worlds being one of those. And I'm not talking about the theme park or amusement park. I'm talking the things that Nintendo has created where they set their games, such as like the Mushroom Kingdom and stuff.
I'm ready for you this time.
But I'm probably always going to be passionate about these worlds and these ideas. Because I think I've grown a bit attached to all of it, right? I know it's not real, and I know it's all fiction, but like any good work of fiction, it's got me so sucked in that I can appreciate these characters and ideas it puts forward, and really grow attached to it. So, if you've ever played any of these games before, and just said, you know what, I really jive with, like, Waluigi or something like that. Like, you kind of sort of get what I'm coming from. But growing up with these games is something else entirely. It's a lovely feeling. And knowing a lot of the historical roots of this stuff and the multiple influences things can take over time, you can really sort of see and feel and grow an understanding of where I'm coming at when I say I can understand what would fit in these worlds or not. No, am I 100% right all the time? Absolutely not. I am in full agreement that the X-Dive characters are the unique and original X-Dive characters. Like, I'm alone in the fact that I think those are pretty good characters. Those are good design characters. But I know lots of people that say those don't fit in well with the other established X characters. And that's okay. It is okay to have a disagreement about what you think would fit in a game, is what I'm saying. It is okay to have disagreements about these games, but at the end of the day, you have to know that they are just works of fiction. And knowing when to calm the tension and realize that it is just fiction and you don't have to get so heated about it can be tough. I've even caught myself before being like, but no, it's gotta be like this, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's a video game. It's a video game, Gavin. Stop it. I've actually gotten in disagreements with my sister over these games before. I don't even remember what they were about. I just remember getting in slight disagreements with my sister over this stuff. Because my sister is a gamer. Not as much as I am, but she does play video games quite a lot. Enough for me to talk to her about Mario or Luigi or Sonic or Mega Man, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about. And believe it or not, like, I've talked to my sister about Metroid before. Here's the second Mauser fight. If you haven't noticed, we haven't really had a whole lot of repeat boss fights this time around. Other than, like, Birdo. Like, I've talked to my sister before about Rayman. And she's known exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that, like, my sister's enough of a gamer to know these obscure, more obscure icons. And, like, even with me and her, I've had disagreements with her about video games. But I at the end of the day, I know it's all fiction, and I should drop it. But sometimes doesn't it just feel good to just rip into something? Just get frustrated and go, fuck you, you're wrong. One of those cathartic feelings of, God damn it, you're wrong. Anyways, I'll just shut up about it, because I am I've lost the point of what I was trying to say before. And now I'm just rambling to myself. And to all of you, and I'm sorry.
Choose a player. Here I
Figured somebody would hop on for Mario, but it's okay. Ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da. Alright. Also, there is no reason to go over there to the right. It's just to get on top of the bird easier. So. Yeah. It'll always just send you back over there to the left. Anyway, anybody remember Rental Floss's, like, with lyrics series? He still does them from time to time, I've seen, but not as often. And I think I'm okay with that. His lyrical writing prowess has gotten a lot better in recent years, I've noticed. And people rail him on his old lyrics. Like, they just absolutely, like, tear him, rip him to shreds. He's been doing a class series where he goes over lyrics and how sometimes people just write the worst lyrics for music tracks. I think it's called Lyrics 101. And I think you should keep doing that series, because, like, oh my god, I've learned quite a lot about writing for song lyrics by just watching his videos. Even if I don't always agree with somebody's take, I can sometimes appreciate the effort that goes into a project. And Brental Floss is somebody who I deeply admire for his lyrical prowess and musical talents. Oh, it just was not throwing. That was weird. That was close. Anyways, I don't know why I know where some of these are and not others. That was when I legitimately knew. Some of them just stick out better. I have a block! I have a block! I have a block! I love the fact that we've been through a lot of these multiple times. So it's just... You know what? I might just clip that after the video. I'm just gonna clip, I have a block after the end of this video. I've been gathering a collection of out-of-context quotes from myself. Some of which people are easy to find. Others are just, I'm hiding them because people, if they take them out of context, this sounds terrible. In fact, the first one that we saved was from my friend Harry, and it's so bad that if somebody took that out of context and out of the fact that we are friends, it sounds like terrible, but it's something my own mother would look at me and go, "Really? You said that?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah." She might even get a chuckle out of it, but, like, I wouldn't say it around my mom, because, like, she would judge the fuck out. My mom is good at judging people. Like, really good. To the point where sometimes I'm like, God dang it, she's right. I don't like it. I don't like it when my mom or my sister's right, even though, like, they're right all the time. Something about that, I'm just like, damn it, they're right. Fuck. But the sooner I admit it, the sooner my life starts going okay, so. I've gotten to the point now in my life where I'm just like, yeah, they're right. I'm just gonna let them be right. They're right, and there's no need for me to prove them wrong, because it'll only benefit me in the long run if they're right. And if somebody has anybody in their life that's like that, like, that is something where you should always be like, yeah, they're right. So, like, the old, like, boomer joke was like, always say your lady's right. It's like, no. Sometimes women are right, sometimes men are right, and there is an in-between. There's an in-between, there's definitely a working point. Coming as a guy who likes to be right quite a lot, there is a melding working point where you can admit that somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Trust me, I know my boyfriend likes to hear it when I tell him that he's right, because he's right a lot of the time. But, you know, he really is right a lot of the time. But, I think only saying that, like, one person is right all the time is, like, a terrible relationship. That's bad relationship advice. But yeah, no. Sometimes I ramble, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling to ramble to fill the air. I used to think that videos just need me talking all the time, but now I know moments of silence are pretty good, and I've known that, but it's like, it's hard to get in your head that, like, every second does not need to be filled with your useless garbage. When I don't have a co-host, sometimes I feel like I've just gotta say something to fill the air, because there's nothing else going on. We're going through the section that you've seen 3 times in a row now. So this is time number 3. So I hope everybody's been enjoying this game. And I hope my rambling hasn't been too awfully annoying. But I've been watching... Oh yeah, it started with me. I've been watching the Sarah Jane Adventures, and I must say, absolutely wonderful actress. We shouldn't have lost her as soon as we did, because it's lovely listening to the... Honestly, if we could get her for... If she was still alive, and we could get her in for the 60th anniversary, that would have been such a good anniversary. That would be so cool. Things that'll never happen because people just die. from time to time. People just bite the dust, and it's like they shouldn't. Alright. But, you know, watching that series has been really fun. It's been nice getting to learn about some interesting Doctor Who lore and sci-fi that I don't think many people watch, because it's not like the main Who series. Had a really, like, weirdly slow start, but once it got going, nice and good. Good show. Alright, so those are hearts.
I am the great wart. Ha ha ha.
So we've been through this fight a couple times now. Next, veggie. What if I just don't miss a vegetable? One, two. We're up to 2. 3. 4. 5. I believe this next hit's the last one. Yep. And with that, we've beaten all versions of Mario 2, except for the Satellaview version, which is basically all stars, except it has some voice acting and some weird cutscenes. But since that version's never been re-released, and it's kind of hard to get a version of that with the music going and the dialogue on, I'm just not even going to worry about it. We've beaten Mario 2. I hope everybody has enjoyed. I've got one viewer right now, probably because of all my ramblings. Feel free to leave a like, everybody. Oh, man. Yeah, let me get a drink real fast. Most valuable player, Luigi. I think it's been Luigi or Toad or Mario for all 3 of these. I tried to make it Peach this time, but I like playing as Luigi. His slippery controls actually originated with Mario the Lost Levels, which is the one we'll probably end up doing next time, so. But, normally I'd put, like, my end screen here, but I don't know. I still will. But that's all for today. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a like, ring the bell. Follow me on Twitter and Discord. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord. I've also got a Telegram channel. All of those links are in the description. There's a PayPal, and donations are welcome. And last but not least, I have been your humble host, Gavin the Kitty, and please enjoy the end credits. I don't think I have anything else to really say other than thanks for watching. Tomorrow is multiplayer, so if you'd like to join in on tomorrow's Jackbox game, feel free to. And if you missed it, just remember there's always a next time, so. Oh, and next week should be the return of Hollow Knight, probably. I just need to bug Artie about that, but I'm not going to bother her too much since she just got back to New York today. So. But please, if you'd like my artwork, commission me. I am open. My art is fairly cheap compared to a lot of other artists for the quality I give. But, yeah. do my best. Roberto. Claw Grip. Tri-Clyde. And Wart. He chuckles like he's gonna be back, but he's only come back once. But there is another mode where we can get Yoshi eggs. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. There should be a button over to the right, either appearing now or in a couple, or it's already there or something, that allows you to subscribe easier. And we've also got a selected playlist of other Mario videos on this channel. And then above that is a video. None of this will be on except until the day after. I can't actually tend to keep it on. But the PayPal link is down below. It's also on screen for you. Remember to subscribe and have a lovely rest of your day. I've been your humble host, Gavin the Kitty. And good night, everybody.